Welcome back to Independent Blazers. I'm Dan,
I'm Joe.
and today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of living in Thailand. But before we do, Joe,
Please subscribe, share, bang the notification button. It helps us out, and it also helps you out to see more of us.
now today we're going to talk about Thailand, the pros and cons, or the advantages and disadvantages of living there. Joe, how old were you the first time you went to Thailand? What year was it?
It was April 1991. I was 20 years old.
Hmm?
The first time I went to town, I was in the Navy. We were coming back from the Desert Shield, Desert Storm. You know, they had that war. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, down the road. And we were coming back and we pulled into Thailand for 5 days. Matter of fact, Pattaya Beach. That was the first time I ever come to Thailand.
All right. Me, I was 24. Oh no, 23 and a half. And I was a backpacker. I was basically one of those guys you saw on Khao San Road, but I didn't have long hair or wear kaftan. But I was a backpacker nonetheless, and I enjoyed the banana pancake trail. And by the way, Joe, what decided to bring you back to Thailand?
Well, over the years, I would occasionally take vacations. The desire really started again in 2004, though. I was, you know, in Japan at the time in the Navy, and we would take trips when we go on leave there. And the lifestyle as I was getting older really started to hit me. The vibrant culture, the laid back attitude. I'm like, well, one day I have a feeling I'm going to be back here for much longer than a month or 2 weeks at a time. And that's what really started back. And from there, it took about 10 years, but then I finally came here full time in mid 2014. How
All
about
right.
yourself?
After I had backpacked all over Southeast Asia plus China and Taiwan and Macau and Hong Kong and all that, I was getting tired of traveling, and I thought of all countries I'd been to, what was the best one to settle in? Now, some were in Thailand and some were more expensive, but they paid a lot more. And I thought, no, Thailand was the happy of mediums. And to this day, I do not regret my decision. I came back, I taught English for a while at a language center. And we're going to get into that later on about about wages
Right.
and
And
what. But anyway, I went back to America for a while and eventually I became a merchant marine or MSC, Military Sea Lift Command, as they call it.
right.
But I always missed Thailand. Even though I was earning way more money in MSC than I was in Thailand, I still missed the place. And I was often caught daydreaming of it. And my mind was still there. And so I would come back between ships whenever I could. And it's when I decided to move back at the end of 2010 and start applying myself and go back to university because I had never finished my education.
It's funny because that was the same thing that drew me back. I retired from the Navy around, was it 2009 towards 2010. And I contracted. I was making a lot of money. I started off in Kingsville, Texas, and then I went around Cocoa Beach, Florida, Iraq, again in Iraq, and then back to Fallon, Nevada. And then I was like, in the contracting world, long story short, you can make a lot of money, but when the contract runs out, especially if you're in management, they can replace you, or if they rehire you, they can cut your pay. And I'm thinking, it was real quick. There's a friend of mine who's retired. He was retired. He goes, "Look, why don't you come back to Thailand and come to Thailand? You always love it here. You feel sad when you leave." So the same thing was finishing my education, and what is with back, and I used my GI Bill and benefits. And I don't know, should I say the university on air, or the college university? Are we allowed to do that? Because
Yeah, I don't know. And I think, although you and I went to the same university, I don't think we can say.
yeah, okay. Well, anyways, I would be back and I finished my degree, and I just fell in love with the place again. I was like, I've seen so many expats live there. I'm like, well, why can't I?
Exactly.
And that's what happened.
Now, Joe, I don't think the majority of our viewers who are considering moving to Thailand have our experiences. So now we have to tell them why we love it so much. First, Joe, tell me a few things you love off the top of your head.
Well, I love the weather. It's very similar to Florida, where I'm from. So the weather is similar for all you people in America, or Maybe you're in different parts of the world that has a hot climate. Obviously, I love the culture, and I started off the bulk of my time in Bangkok. So I love the temples. That's that people laugh at that, but they have some beautiful temples here. I love the street food. I even the transportation, riding on a motorbike where people think I'm crazy, or taking the BTS and just being involved in the culture. There's something here for
Mm.
everybody.
Joe, what tell the viewers what the BTS is?
What the BTS is the Thailand like this their subway system. So if you're from New York, you take the subway. That's what it's above ground, and it's very cheap, and
Mm.
it take you anywhere. And they also have what do they have below ground, Dan?
The MRT, that's the subway. The BTS is the SkyTrain, and the MRT is the subway, and that extends greatly throughout the Bangkok vicinity.
So
It is dirt cheap, and also if you don't like that, you can also take, like Joe said, very cheap taxis with meters, of course. Tuk-tuks, those are a bit dicey, but you can also take boats around Bangkok, certain
yes,
parts, boats in the canals, aka klongs, as they call them. You can take public boats up and down the Chao Phraya River. You can take a big semi-private boat, or you can even hire river taxis. It's, I mean, oh yes, and if you want to get around too, minivans is another going by minivan around.
right. For example, right now I'm in Pattaya Beach. If you don't want to live in Bangkok, there's other places around Thailand you can also live. And as Dan and I get into this topic, I just want to say this: there's a lot of channels you can investigate about living in Thailand. But I'm going to give you an honest answer here. I
Mhm.
always ask, is Thailand cheap? The answer is yes, but
Mm.
Thailand can be as cheap as you want to be, and it can be as expensive as you want to be. So,
Indeed. For example, if you want to buy a car in Thailand, there's only certain brands you can buy because of manufacturer, because Thailand has a very high import tax rate for cars.
right.
On top of that, if you're a big drinker and you like foreign liquor or foreign beers, Thailand's a lot more expensive than, for example, if you want to buy a bottle of wine, most wines are way more expensive in Thailand than they are in Europe or America or Canada or any Western country. There are some other parts. I mean, for example, if you want to live downtown in Bangkok or Sukhumvit area around Thong Lo and all, you're going to
Yeah.
pay similar price to what you'll pay in the West for an apartment or condo or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So, if someone asked me the other day, can you live on $1,000 a month? I said yes, but don't think you're going to live like a Westerner with
No,
AC all the time, and you're going to go to Nana Plaza or Soy Cowboy, or even here in Pattaya and drink every night. You're just not going to do it. And you,
no,
yes,
no. Some other better things besides cost. I mean, so you have easy access to beautiful islands
yes,
throughout the coast, sides of the peninsula, and off the. You also have easy access to the rest of Asia. I mean, it's they're to all over the world from Bangkok. They don't take too long compared to from America. And on top of that, if internally, if you want mountains, there's plenty. There are those. You just won't see snow.
yes.
If you want to see a
Yeah.
desert, you can't in Thailand.
No, no, you got mountains, you got beaches, you got tropical islands. No, it's desert. No. Dan, give me one pro that comes off the top of your head. Give me the first pro that comes top of your head.
All right, there's so many different options for shopping of all kinds, whether it's food or comforts, whatever. If you want to go old style, you can go to open air markets like they did so many years ago.
Right.
And but if you want to live a little more high so and you have the means, you can go to very high end shopping malls such as Icon Siam, Siam Paragon, uh, M Quartier,
Terminal 21.
Terminal 21. Yes, they have it all. Another thing, you especially in Bangkok and Pattaya, you have foods from all over the world.
Absolutely.
I mean, the ones you might expect, such as Italian and French and all that, but you have many real Mexican restaurants. And I know this because I'm from California. So I
Right.
know good stuff and bad stuff. But you also can get West African food in some places. You can get Ethiopian food. There's an
Right,
Arab community, and there's a little India. There's a Chinatown. Not that's not a surprise, but yes, you can get
right.
food from every corner of the globe.
Absolutely. And you can eat cheap, and if you want to eat more, you want to spend more, you can do it. I'll throw in a pro here. Medical services. They're very compared to other Asian countries. Here, I mean, when I say in countries, I'm talking specifically Southeast Asia. Thailand has some of the top medical facilities in the world. There's a hospital in Bangkok called Bummingrad Hospital, which is the international hospital. Now, it's a little more expensive compared to other hospitals, but people will come from all over the world just to use that hospital.
As well as
And,
Bangkok Hospital, B&H, yes. And
right. And
Americans will,
Ramai Hospital,
yeah.
uh, down here in Pattaya, Bangkok Pattaya, which is part of Bangkok Hospital, a part of that group, that medical group.
Mhm.
Hua Hin has the same kind of hospitals. Even outside in Khon Kaen, Bangkok Hospital is there. Medical services here are top notch. And believe me, you will, and no bureaucracy. If you need to get in and see a doctor, the longest I've ever had to wait is 45 minutes. And and
You're
then when I was
lucky.
back, yeah, when I was back home last year in the United States, taking care of some family business for about 4 months, I wanted to get in the VA. I had to wait months just to get into the VA. So it tells you that medical is a big pro here. Dan, what about another pro? Do you have another
Well, before
pro?
before before you before we get off that one, I want to tell you that Americans who can't afford treatment come all the way to Thailand to get it, and Europeans who just can't afford to wait the time, like the way you wait
Right,
at the VA. A lot of Europeans just have to wait at their hospitals, even though it's
right,
free, so you meet Europeans, Australians, Canadians, New Zealanders come, and I think they would rather go right to Thailand
right.
and pay for it than wait 6 months.
And real quick to add to that, dental services here are cheaper. You can get good dental services. Dental services in most Western countries are extremely expensive. Even if you have dental insurance in a lot of Western countries, you still have to pay out of pocket. Here, you can get cheap quality, I would say excellent dental service here also. And look, we're not endorsing, but plastic surgery. People fly in to get cosmetic surgeries, stem cell treatment, getting things in the pharmacy over the counter that you normally cannot get in Western countries, you can get here.
That is correct. Okay, so what else I was going to talk about are Thai people in general. I find them to be overall friendly and outgoing, a lot more so than you find Western countries. They're pretty hospitable, and even though it's predominantly Buddhist, Thailand still has a tolerance and freedom for other religions for the most part.
Yes, they do.
Thais are very open-minded. I mean, not open-minded, I shouldn't say that, but they're very community-minded and family-oriented. There's pretty spiritual people overall, even in modern times. And Thais have a word called sonu, which means fun. Pardon my pronunciation.
Yes.
They like to add fun to just about everything they do, most anyway. And they seem to be happier in life, even during bad times. And Thailand's had some rough patches, but Thais still know how to
Yes.
keep their heads up.
And the piggyback on it. And the thing what I love about the Thai people is extremely laid back society. And Buddhism is entrenched in the culture. And I've also taught, was a teacher here, just as you were,
Mhm.
and I taught more in the public school system. And the thing is, Buddhism is entrenched in the culture. Now, some of them complain about that, but in a way, I saw it as a good thing. They weren't pushing it on you. It's just part. They the school and pray and be part of the community. The temples there are in there. Some of them are. They have shrines in the street. They have temples all over the place. They also have Christians, like you said, being tolerant. There's plenty of Christian churches here. As a matter of fact, I went to one this morning. Um, so there's mosques, there's other religions here. The Thai people are minded, they're tolerant, they're very laid back. If you can't make friends in Thailand, I don't know if you can make friends anywhere. If you want to be frank about it.
I concur. And by the way, as for teachers go and teaching jobs, teachers are definitely more respected in Thailand than they are in America. Hands
Yes,
down. Now, for some people, it's fairly easy to get a teaching job if it's English you want to teach, and that's a whole topic of its own.
yes.
And as for safety, I feel way safer in Thailand. Yeah, including Bangkok and Pattaya. I feel safer there than I my native California.
It's funny you say that because I went to a movie with a friend last night and just walking back home. I never feel threatened. I've been all over Thailand. I've no one. If you don't bother, even the police. If you're laid back cool with them, they're pretty much going to be cool with you. I've got pulled over one time here, and it's funny you talk about teachers, right? I was on a motorbike. I guess that there was a checkpoint.
Hmm.
Soon as he saw I was a teacher and my passport, and they let me go. Oh, teacher, John, that's a teacher. Go ahead, go. They let me go right away. They stopped to even check. Oh, teacher. They did that, and they let me go. So they respect teachers here.
Yes, they did that when I was they did the very same thing, but I you've only been stopped once. I've been stopped a total of 9 times.
Yeah, it's weird. Just in 10 years living here back and forth, whether I'm in back and forth in time, about 10 years, only been stopped once.
You are lucky. 9 times for me, but all right. Oh, something else. If you want to live a healthier lifestyle, it's easy to do in Thailand.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. Definitely is.
And something a lot of people fathom is that cheap, healthy food is what's cheap. Junk food is what's expensive. If you want to eat a typical American diet, you're going to pay more. If you want to eat, say, lots of vegetables, lots of herbs and spices, you pay less. I mean, and there's a lot more organic meat. I mean, so
Yeah.
healthy options and for a cheap price.
Let me add to that. No preservatives in there, neither. There's no like chemicals. So yeah, the food may not be as fresh as long in the refrigerator because most people go to the market and they shop for 1 or 2 days when they go in the carts. But it's healthy. It's natural. They wash it in the sink, whatever. It's and you're right. And me, unfortunately, I'll be honest for the viewers out there, I like Western food, so I still eat my fair share. But yeah, you're right. It's the opposite than the West. The healthy food here is cheaper than the junk food.
Yes, yes. Oh, as far as all that goes, gyms are of all kinds are all over, whether they're chains or local gyms, and Muay Thai courses are reasonably for the most part.
They are, but I mean, caution. When I was in the U.S., I joined a gym back there for 4 months. The gyms in Thailand, one of the few things that are more expensive, slightly, are gyms. It's just the way it is here. Because
Mm,
a lot of the Thai, a good portion of the Thais can't afford the gyms, except for the upper middle class Thais. So the gyms are slightly more expensive. And what a lot of people do here, they get a gym, they go, like say at the Marriott has a nice gym, people will join that or join gyms that are attached to a mall. There is Muay Thai gyms you can join for cheaper. A lot of people do yoga classes, all sorts of different things here. There's still martial arts classes, obviously Muay Thai
yeah.
and Thailand's national sport here.
Right. A lot of people also don't take Muay Thai because they want to become champions. They just want it for exercise, which is why
Right.
I've done it and a little bit for exercise. I'm not trying to be some kind of champion or anything, but
No, just to shed pounds.
yes. And when we were talking about herbal and natural stuff, Thailand also has herbal medicine as an option. If you don't want chemicals, Thailand's the way to do it. And as far as relieving yourself from pain of working out or doing Muay Thai class, they have massages for cheap.
Hmm.
The average massage, legitimate massage I'm talking about, goes for
Yes.
less than $10 per hour.
Here, I found I did a legit massage in Terminal 21 here. It was the high end. It was still only not even $30. That's a high end. And then if you legit one I did on Beach Road was 200 baht, which is equivalent to $6.
Yeah, that's right. Also, acupuncture and cupping are becoming more popular. They're not as popular as they are in America
Right.
America, but they're becoming more popular as are
Right.
chiropractors. And now, as far as being an expat, there are all kinds of communities for expats, more productive than others. But look, those who just choose at the bar and drink all day, that is an option. Who want to fulfill their vices, you can do that. But let's say some people are spiritual, and I mean spiritual of any kind, whether it's Christian or Buddhist or New Age or whatever. There's plenty of communities. There's also a retirees club, and those who are into sports of all kinds, biking, windsurfing, you name it.
Everything.
Yeah,
Deep sea fishing, they have everything. They have drama clubs, they have philosophy clubs where expatriates, expats meet.
yeah, intellects, writers, poets, they have that.
Yeah, chess, playing chess. They have everything here. They even have rugby teams here for expats. There's everything here. There's something for everybody here. And the toast here. There's everything here for people. And you have the flexibility of what you want to spend. You can spend real cheap, or you can go high end, or go right in the middle. Where the West doesn't have flexibility much anymore, you still have it here.
Yes, the one thing I must warn though to retirees is if you're disabled or getting up there in age, it's
This would
not.
be a con then.
Yes, I'm saying that's what I want to warn people about. Wheelchair access is quite limited, and uneven pavement is Thailand's full of uneven pavement. It's not easy for walking. And I need to name some other cons just to get real. Pollution can be really bad at times of the year.
Well, and if you're going to live in Chiang Mai, there's about 2 months a year where the pollution is extremely bad. People will leave Chiang Mai just for that. Now, I have to be honest. One of the reasons I don't spend as much time in Bangkok anymore, because the air quality. I have bad sinuses. So really brought me to Pattaya was the air quality.
Yeah.
And I can tell the difference down here being near the water. It's a big difference for me. I still have the signs, but not nearly as bad. Not nearly air quality in Bangkok can be extremely bad. So look, that is a con. Pollution is a con.
Now, some other cons is during the rainy season, flooding is very common, and unfortunately, in some years, the rainy season can last quite long.
Yes, another con.
Mhm.
Congestion, major traffic. Traffic congestion is another one. And you sometimes it would take could take you 15, especially in Bangkok. What would normally take 15 minutes can take 35 minutes sometimes because you can get stuck in traffic. You can sit on Sukhumvit Road and literally be in a taxi, or if you're driving, you can get stuck for a while. In parts of Thailand, traffic congestion is severe.
On top of that, road accidents are high. There's not as high of regard for safety, and for a while, Thailand ran number one for road accident deaths, and that's just
Yes,
reality.
yes. Road safety, trying to do a little bit more about it, but still, it's still I see this for this year, but yeah, road safety can be an issue with motorbikes zigzagging through. Sometimes people that there's driving where other countries have driving etiquette. I don't think Thailand has caught on to that as much yet.
Oh, Joe, you're putting it quite lightly. Thais are the biggest critics of road safety in Thailand. Now, but anyway, I there's a reason why we both live there. That's where we met through a mutual friend.
Right.
And
Yeah.
to me, there are way more pros than cons, in my
Of
humble opinion.
course. Look, there's no perfect place on the earth.
Nope.
Thailand, the good, believe me, people, the good far, 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 far outweighs the bad. Is there a little bit of inflation in Thailand, but not nearly as bad as the Western world? Like we're both Americans. So a lot of people leave because there's massive inflation, housing costs, car costs. I read it's nearly 50% of Americans can't even get their hands on 500 spare dollars. if something was to happen, if they need it. So yeah, is there inflation? And is Thailand gotten more expensive over the years? Yeah, in some areas, yes. But believe me, you in most places you can still live quite cheap.
Yes. Now you do have to give up some conveniences. For example,
Right.
I've only in all the years I'm coming to Thailand, I've only seen a dishwasher in two houses, two different houses. Electric dishwashers, you can pretty much forget that. But on the plus side, to hire a maid, a cleaner, you
Cheap. Very
cheap.
cheap. Not
I
even $20. It's super cheap. I would say another con is for the young people below 50. If you're looking for jobs, Thailand, it could be difficult. And if you be a teacher, international teacher, that's where the money is in teaching. But if you're going to teach in a Thai school, you're not going to make a lot of money. Maybe 1,000 US dollars a month, maybe 1,500
right.
if you are lucky. I would try coming over here as a digital nomad. Now, if you're one of those lucky ones that get onto a multinational company like Pepsi or Exxon Mobil, nice benefits package with pay. You're making a lot of money. They'll pay your housing, but those jobs are few and far in between. So sometimes if you're not a or have a lot of saved, you have to get creative and with the job that could be a con. And I get why Ken does it because they want their people to have the jobs first. I get it. So if you do come over here, you have to be prepared. Have a savings, have a plan. Don't come over here thinking, oh, I have only $600 a month. Keep in mind, what if you get sick? What about your visa? You gotta have money for your visa.
Uh,
So, or yeah, medical emergency or any kind of emergency. Keep that in mind.
in other words, if you're in education, don't plan on Thailand to get rich unless you get a job at an international school.
Yes. That's where the
Otherwise,
money is in teaching. That's where the
yeah,
money is.
otherwise I can agree with Joe. Have some money saved up, come to Thailand for a cultural experience, and most likely break even by the time you leave, if you're just a while.
And the thing is, don't judge Thailand. You come here for 3 weeks, you're partying, you're dating girls. Oh, I love it. You want to come here for good two, if you can afford it. I know a lot of people can't come here for 2, 3 months and be like how your life would normally be and wherever you're from, and try to live a normal life where you go out once or twice a week and socialize, then see how you like it.
Yes, yes. Live a Try living a quiet life for a little bit. Do things like read or whatever you do in the morning, exercise, just drink your coffee, just see everyday life, not just like Joe said, not just partying, not just traveling, not just pretending life's all good. See the downside to it too. Now, I've seen the downside to Thailand, a lot of it, and yet I still love it, and yet I don't really want to live anywhere else.
Yeah. And remember, there is no perfect place on the earth. Another, I guess, a con would be customer service. Uh, and I'm not trying to, put that all on the ties. Is that they're very laid back. Like as Americans, like you go into a restaurant, look, the Thais are gonna sometimes make a mistake on the order. Part of that is a language barrier. Another part of that is like, look, hey, we're sorry, but hey, and a lot of times they'll fix the order for you, but getting anger impatient does not work in this society here. It's a very laid back, sabai society. And one Thailand is teaching me is to be more patient because one of my says was I wasn't always a very patient person, but here in Thailand, I'm finally learning after over 4 decades and be more patient.
Yeah, Joe, you always struck the patient guy, so I'm kind of surprised to hear that, but hey.
Yeah, and not always.
Mhm. Oh, one thing I got to tell you about Thailand, this is a con. Socially, there's some social issues people need to know. Sexism, as with many other countries, sexism is way more blatant, and this whole political correctness of you you shouldn't make fun of someone the way they look. Oh, there's plenty of that. If
Yeah.
Yeah, there. if you
Eyes can be blunt sometimes, even if they don't do it on purpose. They can be very blunt. Like if you're overweight, they'll call me, "Hey, Pumpooey." You take a grain of salt, man. This is over here. But I will throw a pro with that. You know, they live peaceably. Like there is a society, and not a large sect, but there is lady boys, which are noted as transgenders. Everyone lives pretty peacefully here. There's not what I mean, people fighting over social issues as much.
no,
Uh,
in
like the
fact,
West.
right, get this. Years ago, now the West has gone crazy like to extremes, but 21 years ago when I went there as a backpacker, I was all the way up in, I think it was Udon Thani. I went into a bank and a ladyboy was a teller. I mean, this is what quite up country, and a ladyboy was working at a bank, and that was normal. And I grew to say it's just an everyday part of life.
Yeah, it's you see a school system, yeah, but everybody is pretty peaceful. And another thing, and this is I don't how can I put this? What I notice is I don't view like sex or sexism the same way as they do in the West. I mean, even in this classroom, I know they were, and what I mean by that is the students were talking about sex. It was more open in the classroom. It wasn't just like what's the word I'm looking for? Being a prude and like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Like they would talk about the issues, and it's no big deal. And I thought to myself, this is probably, one of the advantages to being a laid back culture. There's none of this fighting.
Yeah, the older generation though, the older generation from the higher societies not as open to it. That it's kind of ways in that one. Some are way more laid back.
But you can see the younger generation now. It's starting to take a little bit. And one guy asked me a question before I came on and said, "Yes, marijuana is legal for medical purposes here." And it is legal now. They were gonna recriminalize it, but as of now they reverse stance. They're not.
Okay, yeah.
So
Speaking of which, yeah, if you want to get in trouble with the law, look, a lot of Westerners come to Thailand thinking they're going to run the place. Okay, to me,
no.
Thailand is the best place to live as an expat, as a foreigner. It's one of the worst places to get into trouble with the law. Don't do
Oh
it.
no.
Do not do it if you're one who likes to look for trouble and take risks and all that. If you're thinking of, hey, I'm going to go to a party and do ecstasy and all that, do not do that. I do not recommend it at all because they are super strict when it comes to certain drugs. And once you get into trouble in Thailand and you've upset the wrong people, it's pretty hard to get out.
And another thing is, and one thing we're not going to do in this channel, we're not going to get into Thai politics, but I will tell you this.
Mhm.
Do not speak ill of the monarchy here.
No,
Somebody
not do
hears
it.
you, that's a 15-year prison sentence, I believe. It's
Right.
10 or 15 years. Either way, you don't want to do that here, okay? Another thing is, if they're having a political protest, it's not smart for a foreigner to get involved in that. Stay out of their elections.
Stay out
Do
of
not,
politics in general. It now, Joe and I both agree. We have both lived there for years. We both consider it home, but it is not our country on paper. And
no, we're a
it makes
guest.
yeah, we're still guests no matter how long we live there, no matter how much we know about it or will know about it. And so I never understood those foreigners who go to all. I just never understood the people.
Yes, and whether you like the monarchy or not, that's not for us to decide here. This is their country, respect their laws, and you know what? Don't get, again, I can't emphasize this enough. Don't get involved in their protests. It's their fight. Let them deal with it. There's something, and you do not want to jail here.
No, you do not. I've read enough books, and I've actually met
All
a few
right.
people who
Well,
did.
I think Dan, we're running out of
Yes, yes, we are. As for the foreigners who come and always try to get involved in Thai politics or worse, always complain about Thailand, always complain about Thai people, I have asked them, I said, okay, if Thailand is so bad and Thai people are so bad, don't live here. And you
right,
can, and I get all,
right.
yeah, I say, so why don't you go back to your country of birth? or a third country for that matter, and then you hear all kinds of excuses. Those are not the kind of expats I like to be around.
The thing
Those,
is, I would tell some expats, would you act like this in your home country? And they go, well, no. Then why do it here? Why be the angry American here? Why be the arrogant European? Why? And I don't like foreigners looking down on the Thai people. That I have no tolerance for. I cannot stand that. This is their country. We are uninvited guests, and by their graciousness, the kingdom has let us in here.
that's right. Those people are privileged to live there. And they should take their negative energy elsewhere. Look, it's bad enough to be cruel to somebody who immigrates to your country. But when you go to someone else's country and you treat the local people like they're uninvited guests, no, I have no room for that way of thinking.
Yeah, don't look down on the Thai people.
No.
Look, the Thai people are over as corporately overall are are lovely people.
Yeah.
And look, I just don't like it. It really gets me aggravated. I asked one of them one day. I won't say what country he's from. I won't say what country he's from. Uh, I'll say this. I said, well, why don't you go back to your country? That's too expensive. But yet you're complaining about being here. You are complaining about being here. So I don't get it. I just
Oh,
don't get it.
oh, or how about this? Some of the experts even complained about immigrants coming and taking over their countries and changing things. But wait, what are they doing? They're going to another country and trying to change things because they don't accept it. That's just the irony or hypocrisy, however you see it.
Yeah. So I don't get it. I just don't like the attitude. That really gets me aggravated. So don't come here and think you're better. And don't if you can't, I tell people you can't if you're complaining about it here, and you must be really a miserable person. Is it perfect here? No.
No,
The mail can be slow. If you need mail, get mail from the States. Maybe it's Social Security or you're a veteran. But that's one of the disadvantages of living overseas. It's a minor inconvenience. I wouldn't even call it a con because they're on Thailand's on the other side of the world. And the
Mhm.
mail, of course, is going to take longer and slower. That's just
Yeah,
how it is. And talking to Americans, the U.S. government, whether it's the Veterans Administration or Social Security, is not going to first class everything over here.
no.
So that's a minor inconvenience. Keep that in mind if you're expecting mail, this paper mail.
Mhm.
So keep that one in mind. Ordering things, you can order off Lazada. If you need to order, you get almost anything off
Sure.
Lazada.
You can
So
Shopee, Amazon, they all deliver to Thailand.
the banking here is very advanced. They can transfer money easily, so the banking's advanced. So there's a lot of good things here. The good far outweighs the bad,
Yeah.
and get out there and embrace the culture.
Oh yeah, culture-wise, yes. I'd rather be around I'd rather be around Thais on average because of the way they think, the way they take life. Oh, and as far as weather, which we mentioned before, since there's year-round warm weather, not everyone likes it, but me personally, I'd rather be sweating most of the year than shivering.
True, I agree. That I agree with. So 110% agree. So my summation is this. I've said it a few times already, but the good far outweighs the bad.
And I'd like to add another good, that's if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
For those who want to continue their education, there are enough universities with international programs. I don't know if I can say the names of the universities or not, but there are at least three prestigious universities in Thailand that are in English. Now, as far as the rankings, the prestigious universities in Thailand match with maybe a mediocre university in a Western country, but still, you still learn a lot and you still meet people from all over the world. And those who have not finished their education and don't really want to do so in either America or Europe, come on to Thailand.
And also, if you want to go to language school and learn Thai, you can do that here. There's Muay Thai schools. If you don't want to go traditional 4-year universities, there's even cooking schools here. There's a bit of everything here. It's not what a lot of the Western media tells you. Yeah, does Thailand have poverty? Sure. Are there parts of the country that are still third world? Absolutely. But overall, I believe this is one of the best places you can live on earth.
Yes. No matter where I go in the world, I am always homesick for Thailand.
They always say once you come, whether if you leave, Thailand's going to draw you back in, or some people come and never leave.
And those who say they leave and never want to return, well, oh well, their loss.
It's up to the individual. And
Mhm.
again, everyone's different.
Yeah.
I was doing a study earlier today. Dan, real quick on a quiz. Do you know where there's about 9 million people they estimate living abroad, American citizens right now. Where the most American expats, where do you think they live?
Well, I'm guessing Thailand or Philippines or
No,
Mexico.
1.5 million Americans.
Okay.
Thailand, I couldn't get an exact figure of Americans. One site said over 40,000. Another site said more. So I didn't, I'm not, I didn't get a source. So, but yeah, I will say this, there's more and more Americans coming here. The secret's getting out.
Yes, it is. And and I think that's a good thing. Also, it's weird. You'll find some Americans way up country in places like Udon Thani. People think Udon Thani, that used to be a U.S. Air Force base during the Vietnam War. And some Americans went, set up shop there, and never left. Some are like in their 70s and 80s now, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe one time I'll do a video for veterans, military U.S. veterans. There are VFWs here. There's a couple American Legions here, but that's for another time for that specific audience. If
Hmm.
by request, I will do it. But there's no excuse here not to be happy. There's plenty for you to do. And if you just want to be a beach bum, you can do that. If you just want to, plenty of cafes. If you like hanging out at cafes, you want to hang out in malls, there's no shortage of that here.
And just about any lifestyle or whatever, you can find it there.
It's
Within
here.
reason, though. Yeah.
Yes, of
Be
course.
within reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So,
Well, go ahead.
no, that's all I can think of to say for at this moment.
Well, I'll say this. Please like, subscribe, share, bang the notification button. Thanks again for watching. Be on the lookout for more videos from us. And like we told you, we were going to pivot off politics, and this is the pivot off it. And
Hmm.
we're going to have so much more for you all. Please give us a chance. And if there's something you want us to talk about, feel free to contact us. And
Open your independent mind and blaze a trail.
there you go. Hey, wherever you're at in the world, hey, take care. Hope all's well with everybody. And thanks for watching.
Have a great night, day, afternoon, or wherever it is you are.